You said you want to get the enriched uranium. How are you going to get the enriched uranium? Are you going to?
It's very easy. If we have a deal with them, we're going down and we'll take it ourselves.
President Trump just told the world we aren't just monitoring Iran's nukes, we're going in to take them. But while the media is busy arguing over the politics of a deal, they're missing the terrifying tactical reality of what it actually means. I'm Ben Dykes, a 20-year United States Navy submariner. I know exactly what it means and what it takes to move hazardous material in a combat zone. This isn't a negotiation. This is a retrieval operation. There's an article out today. Donald Trump was stopped there on the tarmac, getting on Air Force One, talking exactly about what would happen if Iran doesn't comply, if they don't offer willingly to give up these 440 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium. That's basically fuel ready. And it isn't just sitting on a shelf. It's buried under some rubble. It Natanz, the facility that they were enriching it. And after some airstrikes, Operation Epic Fury, it's going to be a little more difficult to get. But I believe the United States it's imperative for us to get this. Because to take it, you don't just send a letter, you send JSOC with a heavy excavation, digging material, and you send the Gator Navy, probably some Seabees waiting off the coast. And if one of those uranium cylinders is breached during this extraction, you aren't just looking at a tactical failure. You're looking at a localized Chernobyl in the middle of the war zone. We're going to show you here where Natanz is. Natanz is basically right in the center of Iran. I'm going to zoom out here and show you where this is. So you see Natanz here. We're going to keep zooming out. It's in this Isfahan province, and it's about 180 miles south of Tehran, sort of southwest of Tehran. You see Tehran there. Isfahan province is here. Now, the closest way to get military in is right here near Karg Island, which is another tactical reality in itself. So does Iran turn over this material? Do they offer it back up? Or does the United States Navy, JSOC, Delta Force, SEAL Team Delta 9, do they go in and try to retrieve this? You see how far that is. This is a hell of an operation if that's what the president is calling for. But Trump gave Iran an ultimatum. He said it on Saturday night. You've got 48 hours to open the Straits of Hormuz or bad things are going to happen. He apparently has cut a deal, the art of the deal, but the hidden intel that the IRGC doesn't want you to know, Trump isn't just targeting the fuel, he's targeting the exit. If the Strait of Hormuz had not been opened up, I believe the president was going to make some moves to open it up. And now the U.S. is weighing special forces operation to seize Iran's enriched uranium stockpile. This is probably uranium that was sold to Russia by Hillary Clinton, former Secretary of State, in a deal that Barack Hussein Obama approved. And now you have countries like Iran with uranium on the ground. And if we don't go and get this, what other bad actors come in? Are we talking the Afghans? Are we talking ISIS? Are we talking the Taliban? Are we talking North Korea? Are we talking El Shabaab? I mean, this is a real world threat that if some of these materials get into the wrong hands, the potential for dirty bombs around the world, here in the United States, you put some of that stuff on one of these mid-range ballistic missiles that they said were only, less than 2,000 kilometers. They're throwing these things at Diego Garcia. The capabilities now are that they can reach most of Europe. This is a real cause for concern.
Exeger's Vice President for Nuclear and Technology Security Programs, Scott Lafoy. A bit of a pivot here, but obviously we're staying on topic, which is, of course, the conflict that's happening in Iran. Specifically, we're going to sort of target your specific specialty, which is looking at Iran's nuclear capabilities. Obviously, we know sort of rejecting and destroying those capabilities was part of the core objectives from the United States when actually entering this conflict. Do we have any updates on sort of the progress that's being made in sort of achieving that end goal?
Yes, absolutely. And it's a little murky, but it's something that any program has been certainly paused, it seems like. A lot of it dependent on specifically about 440 kilograms of uranium that seems to be, at least according to the foreign minister of Iran as of today, sealed under the rubble within multiple sites. Those sites don't all appear to have been actually attacked so far during the conflict. Some of that is a leftover from June 2025's conflict. But it does seem to be the case that there's not sort of a rush for things right now.
I was going to say, that sounds like a gold rush. Anybody that's interested in building out their own nuclear capabilities is probably very interested in that uranium, right?
1,000 pounds of enriched uranium, 60% enriched uranium that is buried under some rubble. You remember the missiles that were dropped, the bombs that were dropped on Fordo, that missile site. There's probably some there. We've got more that is now being unaccounted for at Natanz. This is a real problem that has to be addressed. And the president of the United States is going to have to make an effort to go and get this. He was talking a little more there on the tarmac.
What do you want from these talks?
Taking CNN over Newsmax, you believe it?
What are you looking for in these talks, Mr. President?
We're looking for all of the things that we've been talking about. We want to see no nuclear bomb, no nuclear weapon, not even close to it, low key on the missiles. We want to see peace in the Middle East. We want the nuclear dust. We're going to want that. And I think we're going to get that. We've agreed to that. Yeah, we've agreed to that.
You want the enriched uranium before you can end this?
We want no enrichment, but we also want the enriched uranium. If this happens, it's a great start for Iran to build itself back, and it's everything that we want. And it's also great for Israel, and it's great for the other Middle Eastern countries, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, all of them. Kuwait and Bahrain in particular. So it's great for all of them.
Is there anyone watching this that thinks Iran having 1,000 pounds of enriched uranium is a good idea? Do you think they will just forget about it and not go back to doing what they're doing? If you're a neighboring country there in the Middle East, you just saw what Iran was capable of. They were throwing bombs, throwing ballistic missiles at all of the neighboring countries. They've now threatened to take out the water purification systems there, to cut off fresh water to Qatar, to Bahrain, to other countries here, to basically just dehydrate, just to thirst these people to death. Something has to be done for that uranium. You know Hillary Clinton is not going to go and buy it back. Thank goodness that she's not involved. But there's a lot of bad actors that would love to have it. If it's still there, there is no way to really believe Iran for what they're saying. They said their missile capabilities weren't what they are. Now we know they are. We've got traitors here in our old country that have questioned the president. The president said if they don't deliver, it's not going to end well.
Point very, very soon meet. We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
President said there, if it goes well, we will continue to work on it. If not, we're going to keep bombing our little hearts out. The issue of the retrieval of this nuclear material very much in the center of the country, the center of Iran, about 180 miles south of Tehran. Looks like it's about 150 miles to the northeast of Karg Island. How do you get it? How do you tactically go in and get those materials? It's right here around Isfahan. Something has to happen to retrieve this material. Whether or not the president says publicly what the plan is, which I don't believe he will. I believe that this operation is already in the works. By the time the president gives the media any litany or any breadcrumbs, something's already happening. Iran did themselves a favor by opening back up the Straits of Hormuz. You can see here, Central Europe, the country of Slovenia, is rationing fuel supplies because the straits were closed. They were charging $2 million for a ship to get through. But even with this peace deal in place, or this, what I would say, stopgap to allow the straits to reopen, this isn't really a peace deal because Israel is still bombing the hell out of Iran. Iran hasn't came to the table and said we want peace. They just said we don't want you to bomb our electrical grid. We don't want you to bomb our utilities. That's all they've really said. They haven't came to any agreement. You've got to keep the pressure on these people. Iran has never won a war. They have never lost a negotiation. So that's what has to happen. We have to keep this on full speed ahead. Oil prices are starting to drop now that Trump has negotiated with them, or basically just cornered them into opening the straits. And the next real problem that the president's going to face is going and retrieving 1,000 pounds of uranium that could very well be spread all over the country, could be spread all over the Middle East, could be in North Korea by the time that we find out where it is. If you trust Iran to keep it where they say it is, you've already lost the battle. This is the Ben Dykes Show. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.